Well, hello, and here we are again. Welcome to another Writers Behaving Badly rant. Well, okay, I might as well do part three of the Hellbound Books situation since this is the gift that keeps on giving, it seems. Basically, last week, Hellbound Books sent out an email saying they're canceling the Jack Ketchum anthology, and they didn't really say why, but they just kind of mentioned that it was due to a lot of, scandalous stuff or whatever. They didn't say. They didn't say specifically. They just said it's over and they're very sorry and best wishes to everyone kind of thing. And that's fine. I've been in many anthologies that have been canceled. Many, many, many. And I think I've mentioned before that I have been in a bigger light. Like anthologies, that's just one story. It's one little thing. People may or may not see it or notice you or whatever. But when a publishing company goes under, that's a big deal because, you're writing books and books go on shelves and people read books. And to me, it was a way bigger deal when Leisure went under, Dark Tales went under, Sam Hain went under, Thunder's Mouth Book was going to publish me a few more. Orion had started the new Neon line, and I was supposed to do several books with them. They had crashed and burned, So when publishers go out of business, I get upset because, a book is a big deal. But anthologies are not. They are, but they aren't. I don't want to sound like an asshole, but that's one story in one book. Hellbound Books is not going under. They're a publishing house. They're doing just fine. They made the decision for whatever reasons, maybe it was financial, maybe other reasons, that they do not want to continue with the Jack Ketchum anthology. And that's fine and that's cool and that's their prerogative. I've been in tons of anthologies that have been canceled. Of course, my favorite canceled anthologies are the ones where they've already paid me for my story and then I can go on and sell it again and then I get more money. But the thing is, with this particular project, we weren't getting paid anyways. We weren't getting a dime. We were all going to be writing for free, and what money would be raised would go to charity. And I've been in tons of charity anthologies, and I'm never sure how well the charity does, but that's fine. So, we all understood this going in. We're not getting paid, and the money's going to go to one of Dallas's, favorite charities or whatever. But anyways, it's done. It's over. And that's the end of that. But then, because, people get upset, people want to point fingers. So I'm making this video as kind of a teachable moment, I guess, because I am a teacher. I teach on Udemy. As a chapter head of the Horror Writers Association, I try to educate people. So I figure this is like a teachable moment in our genre. If you want to see writers behaving badly, go look at science fiction and fantasy right now. They're having huge issues. Our issue is a little anthology is getting canceled. And so be it. There are I can think of at least 4 or 5 other Jack Ketchum anthologies that are likely still going ahead, and so people who are displaced because Hellbound Books has shut down their anthology, they may go on and be in some of these other anthologies, or maybe they'll start their own anthologies. It's a free world. But so, however. I've been going on Facebook not a lot this summer because I've been working a lot. That's why you haven't seen me around. We've had a horrible heat wave. No one wants to see me all sweaty. See, I'm sweating already and I just had a fresh shower. It's not even that hot today, but when you put the lights on and stuff, so I haven't been making my videos and I haven't even been on Twitch because it's too hot to deal with anything. Anyways, but I'm back. And I'm not angry at all. I'm just trying to give a teachable moment, I think. So, first of all, like I said, I haven't really been on Facebook, so I don't know if there was more backlash since June about the Hellbound anthology. I have no idea. I know I made a couple of videos about it. You all heard my opinions, which is they have a right to do whatever they want with their own anthology. That's they're the publishers. Their editor has the right to choose whatever stories they want to do for whatever perimeters they want to use to choose those stories. Me, as a woman and as a teacher, I encourage women to submit. And I say it over and over again that people grumble there aren't enough women, but oftentimes it's because women don't speak up or women don't submit. And that's fine. I'm not saying kick out people to make room for women. I just think that there's room for everyone. And I've always said this because, like I said in another video, everyone tells stories differently. You can have 55 of us write a story based on the girl next door, and you'll have 55 different stories. It doesn't matter, and it doesn't matter if they're men or women or what race or gender or anything. Sexual preference has. At the end of the day, a publisher wants a good story because they want to sell books. They want to make money. They don't care what you are. Really and honestly, nobody cares what you are. They really don't. They want a good story. And you'll notice in some genres that some of the same people win awards over and over again. And that's because they tell a good story. People are moved by their stories and they like their stories. And it's not a big conspiracy. It's telling a good story. So, at any rate, though, a couple days ago, I was on Facebook and I just saw through my feed that someone who is a Facebook friend with me, who I don't know in real life, we don't know each other, somehow got it in his head that I had somehow was responsible for canceling this anthology. And I think, first of all, it's pretty hilarious that I have any power at all about anything, because otherwise I'd still be writing books for leisure and getting big bucks. But it's interesting to me that I think because when people haven't really worked, I don't want to say not worked in the business, because I know this guy's been in the business a long, long time. I have no power. I have no power here. Be gone. It's like the Wizard of Oz. I have no power. And just because I said women submit, and just because I said I wrote to them and asked if I could submit a story, and they said yes, I don't see how that made me collapse the anthology, unless they didn't want a suffrage in the story in the anthology, and so they just cancel it all because I would tarnish their good name or whatever. I know that didn't happen because they just tell me to leave, or they wouldn't have told me to come in to begin with. So, but somehow this person has decided that I was somehow helped cancel this anthology, and it's ridiculous because I was in that anthology too. I'm also disappointed that my story will not be published in that anthology. I'm also disappointed that I will not be in that Jack Ketchum anthology. So I don't know where that came from. I don't even think Brian Keene or Jonathan Maberry or Tim Wagner, who are all peers of mine, but they're much bigger up the ladder than I am. I don't even think any of them have the power to shut down an anthology or shut down a publisher unless, they find out they're doing something illegal or whatever. Like, just because people are squawking. No, it's not going to happen. So whatever reason, Hellbound Books decided to cancel the anthology, only they know because they haven't shared with us, but had nothing to do with me. Last I heard from them was welcome aboard. And then the last thing I heard from them was we're not doing it anymore. And that's it. That's all. That's all the only communication I ever had with them. So I think in this era of fake news, I want to teach this as a teachable moment that people need to get their facts straight. And if you're going to start accusing people of saying things or doing things, you need to get your facts straight. Now, I know this gentleman, I think he saw a couple of my Hellbound videos and maybe took them wrong. I don't know. But also, I know back in June when Hellbound first announced this anthology, there was a lot of shit hit the fan on Facebook because at the time there was only one women contributor listed in the anthology, but as we found out over the course of a few hours or days, or I don't even remember anymore because we had a whole heat wave in between and my brain melted, but over the course of that time it was uncovered that there were other women involved, including myself, and then other women who just hadn't answered the email yet. And Hellbound Books was actually putting names up as people were accepting their invitation. And since that was a very unusual practice that none of us had really ever seen before. We all assumed it was a finalized table of contents with stories that were already purchased, and then it came out that it wasn't, and they apologized for being confusing, and everything was fine and dandy. It turned out there were actually a lot of women writers and diverse writers and so on, and that's fine. It's fine. But somehow this person decided I somehow shut this down, and I didn't. Why would I shut down something I was in, like, or wanted to be in? And even with that, like, and it shut down. But you know what? No one was getting paid, so nobody lost money. Like, nobody lost money because they weren't going to pay us anyways. So none of us are out any money. Most of us probably haven't even started our stories yet because we didn't have a deadline. And I have a couple of other deadlines to hit before I was going to hit that one. So I'm really not sure where the anger towards me is coming from, because there are going to be several Jack Ketchum anthologies, and I'm sure people will be able to submit to them. And quite frankly, you can start your own. You can edit your own anthology. Just go to a publisher, jump through the hoops. Because the thing is, when anthologies are created, I've been in the game long enough to know that they need some big name writers for sure. For an editor to sell an anthology, you need to have a couple of heavy hitters on the roster, or at least saying they're going to submit. And then it goes down to, there'll be some mid-list writers or popular writers or people who are known for writing in that genre or whatever. And then there's always a few slots left for newcomers or whatever. But again, I go back to the idea that I think most editors, when they're reading through the slush and the submissions, they're just looking for a good story. So if you're telling a good story, you're going to get in. And I did not kill the anthology. I'm very sorry, Mr. I won't say your name, but I'm very sorry you're disappointed that the anthology won't be coming out. We all are, and we all, I think, were just as surprised to get the email that day, because I hadn't heard, at any rate, any rumblings that any of this was even going to happen. I had assumed everything was going forward, and I'm sorry you're disappointed. And I'm disappointed too, and so are the other 30 people or however many were going to be in there. I saw a lot of names on that list. I'm surprised you didn't see my name on that list, because when they sent out that email that day, all our names are there. It wasn't a blind thing. We're all there. You can see me right there. I'm there too. That I was also a contributor, and I didn't do anything to anyone. I got way bigger fish to fry than shutting down anthologies. I don't even care. You know what? I don't care about shutting down anthologies. People do what they do. You're in or you're out. Anyways, I'm sorry you're disappointed, but I had nothing to do with it. Seriously. And there were a lot of Facebook angry posts back in June. I did not start them. I may have clicked like on a couple of things. I may have said a few comments. But at the time all that was happening, I was already in the anthology myself. So I wasn't going to badmouth it, because I was in it too. Anyways, I just wanted to clear that up on this edition of Writers Behaving Badly. And I guess now that the Hellbound Books Jack Ketchum anthology story is finished. And there we go. So I hope this was a teachable moment for some of us. And I hope y'all have a fantastic day. And I'll see you next time.